one of the things I'm enjoying the most about all the Asian games that I am being so lucky to do the unboxing, playing, and reviewing for is how much they draw into their own history, their food, their traditions, and the games seem to be less about conflict and more about just themselves, which I find it absolutely fascinating. This is one of those games, Find Divided Family. It's a game designed by Sehee, and it really draws very heavily on Korean history. Now, this is a very difficult to find game because it's barely made out of Korea. So would it be worth the amount of money that you have to spend to get your hands on it? So play we all. The story behind Find Divided Family is absolutely beautiful, as it was explained to me by the designer at Spiel 2022 when I had the immense privilege of meeting him face to face, and the interpreter who very kindly helped us communicate. During the Korea War that separated Korea between North and South Korea, thousands of families were literally torn apart, with people being boarded in trains and being taken to one part of the country or another, never to be found or seen each other again. This game commemorates that piece of history. This game has been funded by Kem Sehee himself, who has suffered because of the separation of these families. And what he decided to do, and please bear with me with this explanation because it will help you appreciate how moving this game is. He decided to go into the archives of all these people who have disappeared, take a bunch of them, take those photographs, and pay an artist to try and figure out what these people would look like today had they aged 50 years, 45 years. What they would be like, and would they be able to recognize each other if they had the chance to see each other again face to face. What will happen there? And he made a game just for that. You know, what would it be like to find your grandmother, your grandparent, your parents again? That lost, long lost brother, uncle, aunt, cousin that you haven't seen in 50 years. What would it be like? So let's delve into the game and what is inside, because although it is very simple, but again, it's incredibly moving. So the cover of the game shows this old television with people demonstrating in the street, which is something that a lot of Korean people have pleaded for with their government to do, to try to have this, I don't know how to call it, this conversation, this negotiation with North Korea to try and get those families together, try to figure out what happened to them. And this has been going on for a very long time. In the back we see a very short description of the game. Of course it is in Korean, which unfortunately I do not understand, and what we're going to find inside. This is for players 2 to 6 players, ages 8 or more, and it plays in about 15 to 30 minutes. It depends on how much attention to detail you can play. So inside, this is a very thick, nice box. It feels very lovely, actually, I have to say, for something that's been very designed by somebody who's put their own money into it. It is very good. The rule book, which is in English and of course in Korean, and it is a very simple game, because all you're meant to do is to find the people, you know, according to the description. You have their profiling, and you're meant to find who are they. That's it. There's a variant for 3 people, which is pretty good, and that's it. Inside, we find 2 decks of large cards and 1 of even larger cards. Let's open the first one. The cards are actually alright. They're not laminated, so beware. But here you can see the age of the person, the method of transportation that they were taken by, and the portrait. So these people were taken by train, these people were taken by boat. And what they have tried to do, I don't know if you can see it, but what they have tried to do is to set if they had any mole on their faces, to make it a little bit more permanent, to give it as a clue as to who these people are and how to find them. The glasses play a role in it. So all these pictures you're seeing here, all of them are real people who disappeared during the Korean War that separated North from South Korea. These are people who have existed if they're still alive, because families literally don't have a way of knowing. They don't know if these people are still alive, and I don't even want to imagine what that must feel like. So this is an attempt by Kim Sehee to raise awareness, to let people not forget everyone who disappeared during these dark times. And this is but a fraction of the people who've not been found. I love the back of the cards, by the way, which I haven't commented on yet, with 1 dream, 1 piece. It is absolutely such a gorgeous sentiment, such a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. And we open the second deck of cards. And here we find these are the conditions that have to be met to find these people. So we get, you know, their age, their gender, how they left, and if they have any particular physical, you know, they have a mole anywhere, and roughly the size. You know, so can you see them? Can you find these people? And the idea is to get these families again together by finding the people who have here in these cards. So here we are. So you get, these are the missions. So you have 3 members of the family, and you're meant to be finding them by their age, by the way in which they disappeared, their gender, and if they have any physical, you know, any mole or anything like that. Once you think you have found them, then you turn them around and you figure out, you find out if they are the people or not. That's it. That is all the game is trying to do. Nothing else. So as a game itself, let's face it, that's not where the value of this game is. As a game itself, it's incredibly simple. It's not going to keep you busy, and it's not going to be the game that you play time and time and time again, because, well, there's a limited number of families, a limited number of characters, and a limited number of physical appeal and characteristics that you can. So when you've played this a few times, you will know. However, as an activity, as an awareness tool to help people to get this into schools and help people remember their history, remember their families, remembering that this should not happen again, I think is so beautiful. It's such a moving thing to do that we should commemorate these kind of games, this game in particular, because of all the effort and all the money that this person has put into it, just to call for justice. I don't care how simple the game is. I don't care if the production values are, which they're very good anyway. But this is the kind of game that I think is worth supporting, and this is the kind of people that I think is worth supporting to keep making these kind of games. I just love this. I really love the story behind it. I love the sentiment behind it. I love how it feels in my hand, and I am looking forward to seeing what else Mr. Sehee comes up with. But I'm not even going to ask you what you think about this game, because I hope that you think this game is amazing, even if you have never ever seen it. So until the next time, thank you very much indeed for being there, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.